This is Bumper to Bumper TV.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The Genesis Essentia concept.
Of course, the luxury division of Hyundai would introduce their latest concept vehicle in New York with a flourish. This year, it was the Essentia, a striking sports cruiser created with a pure electric drivetrain in mind. What's the thinking behind the platform? Maybe the chief designer can explain it.
Every year in New York City, we have been launching the new concept car. The first one was a New York sedan concept 2 years ago. Last year is the GB80 SUV concept. Those are really the logical step for the brand as a luxury brand. We covered our full pilot with that cars together. This time we want to be more inspirational. We want to take another step as a Genesis, what it's supposed to be. So this car here is obviously full electric Grand Tour. So actually this is the ambition of the brand, what the future should be.
When you talk about inspirational and aspirational, most of the electric vehicles we've seen that are in production tend to be somewhat dowdy. This kind of vehicle, the Fisker Comet, are we going to see more of this going forward, especially as electrical vehicles move into the mainstream?
I mean, there's a lot of that going on all the OEMs for what electric car future should be. This is definitely the solution for Genesis. I mean, the electrical car can be really beautiful and elegant. Obviously, the athletic character and elegant character, those are the two strong DNA of the brand design. So we having those two key elements apply into very special car.
What do you like most? What did you like most about working on this kind of design with an electrical drivetrain versus a traditional internal combustion?
I mean, as you see the car, the proportion is absolutely fantastic, even though it's quite unusual. I mean, as you take a look at the car doesn't have a hood, yeah? So really the showcasing what's underneath of the hood, not traditional powertrain, but you have a really fantastic air tunnel and exposed the suspension, so it can be used as something else. Car is a really cool bubble top, almost like reminiscent of 1950s in a modern character to it. The combining with that low hood and the bubble top and the really low deck lid create very unique profile of the EV, the sports car. And it's also very beautiful and elegant. This is a very important part. A lot of actually electric sports car, if you take a look at it, I mean, a sports car, of course it has to be sporty, but executed in a very functional way. In a way, some of the car you look at is a little bit of brutal way, and this is not the approach we want to do. We want to take that car as elegant as much as possible. So you look at underneath of the hood, all the air path and aerodynamic, actually the solution, everything's the surface around it and all the details executed in a very elegant way that in order to highlight our design specialty.
You've used the term elegance several times. How important is elegance in design as we move forward with the new technologies, especially the safety technology, the drivetrain technologies, the changing? How important is maintaining that sense of elegance?
This is actually a very good question because technologies, I mean, we all talk in the automotive business, we are doing a paradigm shift because driven by all the technology development, autonomous and connected and the environmentally friendly, the electric vehicle, obviously. All the technology is available, but it's more importantly how we actually harmonize all this technology aspect together. And if you can do, as I said to you, beautifully, elegantly, there is something actually that nobody has done yet, and we believe that is a kind of like a step for the Genesis in the future.
That little space that's not occupied.
Exactly. Yeah.
Will it ever be a production vehicle? Hyundai execs won't say, but don't be surprised to see some of its elements incorporated into a very real offering in the not-so-distant future. This is Greg Morrison.